Hello, it's August the 10th, 2016. My name is Jason Meinzer, J-M-E-I-N-Z-E-R, at beachbody.com. And the purpose of this recording is to showcase how the point of sale, aka POS team, has leveraged Alteryx to bring more value to the company by boosting the integrity of the sales data from the 2016 Coach Summit event. For those unfamiliar, Alteryx is a software platform with a pretty unique user interface that lets you prepare, blend, and analyze data. And for more detail on the POS team, feel free to visit our product page on Confluence anytime via bit.ly Beachbody POS, where you'll find more detail, key stakeholders, the product roadmap, etc. So let me close this and open our Alteryx file. And here you're looking at a visual representation of our 100 plus step workflow. Let me zoom out of that to give you a bird's eye view. And for the sake of keeping this recording fairly simple, I'll just keep this walkthrough very high level. So scrolling all the way back over to the left to our first step, you'll notice it's bringing in the raw file from Revel Systems, which is our third-party point-of-sale vendor that provides a solution that we used to facilitate the 29,000 plus unique sales transactions that resulted in the several $1 million worth of revenue over the course of the 4 days of Summit this year. So where do we get that file? On a custom URL here, and once we download it, we drop it into our input files folder here. That's the child folder of the parent Alteryx folder here. This is where all of the other input files are that our Alteryx workflow needs to reference in order to run successfully. Jumping back into our workflow from step 1, you zoom in a bit here. We're kicking off the next phase by converting some of our data types from string to double for some of the calculations that follow later on in the workflow itself. And we've embedded insights into the number of unique order transactions, which again is just over 29,000. We are removing bad characters from the raw file that result in data migration errors downstream after performing the workflow. And we're updating the dates data and filtering out any dates that fall outside of the 4 days of Summit here. Now let's remove any duplicate orders that ended up in our raw files if there were multiple credit card types used. And from there, we can perform a union after a right outer join here to combine the fixed duplicates back with our original records. Now there are unique data attributes that we need to associate to individual items in a multiple item order that aren't associated at the item level by default in our raw input files. So in order to do this, we are creating a unique line ID of sorts by concatenating a string of the order number, the product SKU, and a dummy line ID. There's the formula, the running total, the select element, and our final formula here. From there, we are bifurcating orders with items that carry coach volume, essentially flagging commissionable product SKUs. and we're cross-referencing that with the coach ID that we have from an input file that we've extracted and exported from Oracle's OBIEE. And we're performing another union after this left outer join to bring it into our next container, our next phase here. Now we can proceed in correcting the coach IDs for orders where the coach ID in the raw files were invalid. And we do this by performing an inner join off the email address of the coach. Then another left outer join, followed by a union, and we're adding a few more steps here before moving on, just to keep a record of any coach IDs that were actually fixed. Then we're assigning the coach ID of 994, which is one of our corporate coaches, for any order where the volume-bearing skew existed and where the coach ID was null. And here we're updating bonus dates for orders that occurred on the Wednesday of Summit. And here we're bringing in another raw input file to get more data attributes on orders where there was any form of a discount applied. But to join these attributes to the rest of our raw data, we need to create a concatenated string of several data elements again. So here's that raw input file, creating that concatenated string before performing a left outer join and a union with the select element. So now that we have the discount attributes that we need, we're able to calculate the net price paid after discounts on all orders. This varies depending on the discount type that was applied to each item in an order. Maybe it was a product sold with a 25% coach discount. Perhaps it was one of the free items that was provided as part of a buy one get one free product promotion. Maybe it was a clearance item. It varies. Another union here takes us to the next phase of our workflow. Where we're ready to bifurcate returns, voids, exchanges, and sales by leveraging different data attributes in the raw files that we've brought into our workflow so far, in addition to a few other files required to perform the job, like this one here, for example. So we are creating concatenated strings again. Up there and here. The running total and the final formula. And here's another union. And cleaning up the files a bit here before outputting it to a variety of files for various stakeholders. Same thing here, a little cleanup here and here. That's all after this full outer join that brings everything together. Let me zoom back in. Finally, we are performing a final union. on all of the raw data elements and restoring the original formats so that the rest of the files that we output are in the expected formats that our downstream systems are expecting in order to ingest them properly. A few more examples of output files here, here, and here. Now, I've been careful not to click into any of the steps that show the actual raw data due to the sensitive nature of it, so I won't open any of the output files either, but notice the folder where they're all going is empty. And that's because I haven't run the job yet. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's run our workflow. So that I can show you what used to take days as now taking, let's sit back and see. About 48 seconds. That's that. So again, while there are many benefits here, the key takeaway is that our workflow has boosted the integrity of our sales data from the 2016 Coach Summit event to bring more value to a variety of stakeholders across the company. Data with higher integrity equates to more money. And here are all those files. I'm Jason Meinzer. You can reach me at jmeinzer@beachbody.com for any comments or questions. Thank you.